How are you doing?
You can't talk to the audience like that. That's so gross.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, baby. How you doing?
Welcome. We've only been waiting almost 20 years for this moment.
And wasn't it perfection? Could it be more perfect?
It was perfection, and it couldn't have been more perfect. Well, okay, maybe if Corden wasn't there. But still.
Oh my God. I wanted to take a mental pic. Click.
I don't think the flash went off.
Do they know that we know that they know how amazing this reunion was?
Okay, this can go on for a while.
Yeah, well, we should order some food then. The food from your people and the food from my people. Though that does mean pivoting off my chair.
Just make sure no one takes the essence of it.
If you think we're having a stroke, you've been bamboozled. We are here to talk about the Friends reunion, reacting to all the scenes, and let's face it, probably crying just a little bit.
No, you say that proudly. I mean, we'll definitely be more in control now than we were when we left each other voice messages.
Hey, just finished it, so a little bit emotional. I want to scream, except if I was to scream right now, I'll probably just end up crying completely. God, that was so heartwarming.
Hey, I cried so many times during it, and watching the love that they all had for each other. I could cry now.
Yeah, that was a mess, to put it lightly. But listen to those voices tremble.
We'll try and be more composed, but we aren't promising anything.
If you didn't cry, you don't have a soul.
You're dead inside.
And as always, if you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. If you want extra goodies, go follow our socials on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Geekly Recap Pod, all one word. Or head to our website, geeklyrecap.weebly.com.
So let's get started.
Are your ears bleeding? Because that's literally how we feel.
Well, we don't feel like our ears are bleeding. We feel like our hearts are, well, not bleeding either.
Bleeding?
Nothing
you guys
bleeding.
know what we mean.
No bleeding. There will be no bleeding.
Bleeding of love.
Anyway, we're apologising now because we may sound like we're on some crazy high, but we are, because we watched Friends reunion, and I don't know about other people. I haven't read about anyone else's reactions. But
I don't care about other people's reaction.
But I loved it.
Oh my God. I mean, I didn't care it wasn't an episode, and
No.
I know some people have their gripes about it, but this is what I wanted. I wanted the six of them together talking and reminiscing, and that's what I got.
I would have been just happy with it just being completely just them sitting on that couch talking to each other about, oh, do you remember that bit? No, that didn't happen. Oh, it was you. Do you know what I mean? I don't even care. Really, yeah. I don't care. In fact, I mean, it's not a spoiler. At the end of towards the end of the episode, Winnie says that we'll probably never be invited back to do something like this in the next 15 years. And I was like, scream? Yes, you will.
Did you scream? Because
I didn't
like,
scream,
no!
But I was like, yes, even if I'm listening to you guys in your old age, like, barely being able to make any sense because you're dentures are out. I'm listening. I want it to happen.
And they don't need the money, but people would still throw it. Companies would still throw it because look how many years it's been and it's still so relevant to this day. Exactly. I mean, James Corden listed the bloody numbers. Mm-hmm. Streamed over 100 billion times. That's just streaming. That doesn't include when it was aired on TV.
Exactly. That includes all the people that used to love it and can't be asked to put the DVD on.
Yeah.
The people who haven't just watched it in a while, and the people that are watching it for the first time and finding it problematic. How dare you?
How dare you? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so happy. I've literally got the biggest smile on my face.
It's like she slept with a hanger in her mouth.
Oh, where do we even begin? Honestly. It is 18 pages.
Front and back. You can't really say 18 pages without saying the other bit.
No. Or 7 without thinking of Monica.
I know. I know without thinking of Monica.
Yeah, this is going to go on. And I'm not even sorry.
Yeah, you're going to be disappointed if you don't like Friends. Just turn off.
Don't even bother listening if you don't like Friends. Because
this isn't going to be the kind of thing where we go, oh, well, it wasn't that great because they didn't do this. No, we're going to like just dry hump the whole episode.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to feel so good. Yeah, baby.
We promise we haven't been drinking.
We really haven't. I've got mint tea.
I've got water.
But, like, this is what we love. Anyone that actually knows us knows. I keep saying that, but if you know us, you know us.
Yeah.
For Meryl and myself, Friends is our life.
Exactly.
And it's definitely brought us closer knowing that this is our thing.
Yeah.
Like, I hate using that term, but it is our thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've got other friends, obviously, that love it like we do. But when Havva and I get together and Friends is the subject, we kind of become a bit like Ross and Monica. We kind of take it to a place where our friends are uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But you know what? We always win.
Well, except that one time, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah, we'll go into it the next time.
Next week's show. Oh my God, how perfect was that?
I know! I really hope you're loving this episode as much as I am.
All right, so it starts off, the actors trickle in one by one and look at the set. From the get-go,
I started crying.
Yeah, once David Schwimmer, and you know, Ross has a way anyway of making people cry. And he walks in and he looks at the set and I'm already like, oh my God.
Oh good God, Ross, how do you do it?
My makeup. But and then it's followed by Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah.
She actually said, this is all I care about. Like, that was it. She didn't even care about looking at the set. As soon as she saw David Schwimmer, she was just happy. Aww, I love them.
Before they all started trickling in, it did say this is the first time in 17 years. Oh, this is the second time.
Yeah.
They've only done it once before. I believe that, but I don't believe that. Maybe professionally, but unprofessionally, they've probably been in the same room. But that is a huge deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolute huge deal.
Because obviously life happens and there's, even though we know that they're still in touch with each other, they don't all hang out all the time together, which is a shame. But in my head, they do. Mm-hmm. Especially from now on.
And so do I.
Yes, I'm there too.
Yeah, Lisa comes in and they share a little emotional hug. And I love how as they're reminiscing, they're like listening out to the feet, the pitter-patter of feet. It's almost like, who's next?
I know, they want to know. And of course, you know, we were wondering, who will be the first to cry? Of course, it was Jennifer Aniston, who was immediately looking for the tissue box.
And they even make a joke of it. Yeah, Jen doesn't cry.
Oh, and then we're quickly followed with Matt, who looks a little stockier than we're used to.
Which Matt?
I write Matt for Matt LeBlanc. The other one's Matthew.
It's Leblanc.
Leblanc.
It's French.
It's too long. Joey. It's just Joey. Yeah, he walks in. Courtney comes in. Courtney comes in.
Yeah.
And around the time where they're talking about how she kept writing her lines on the table.
Yes.
Or in places so that she could remember them.
She hid it in the apples.
And he was getting rid of them to mess with her. How lovely.
She didn't even know. I wonder who she thought was getting rid of them.
Yeah, or she'd completely forgotten about it. It's funny what some of them remember and the other ones completely forget.
Yeah.
And then I think the last to turn up is Chandler, or Matthew Perry. And you know what? I'm not going to go too deep into it. We know that obviously he struggled with some stuff. And he's looked okay. You know, he's aged as well. But he was a lot quieter than I expected him to be. Mm-hmm. Didn't you find that?
Yeah.
Like he came in every now and then, said a great one-liner, and then the rest of the time he just didn't really join in as much.
Maybe that is his personality. Maybe he is quite a quiet person. Like, he brings himself out of his shell by his acting.
Maybe.
Because he goes into saying, well, I didn't want him to get all the laughs. Like when Joey tripped up and he does it. I feel like that's how he does it in character.
He opened up a lot about, well, not a lot, but what he said, even though it wasn't a lot, it kind of said a lot about why what happened to him kind of happened to him as well.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, obviously they're all funny in the show, but his character was the funny guy. That's a lot of pressure. So yeah, when he says a line and the audience isn't finding it funny, he takes that personally rather than, oh, it's just a line that needs to change.
Even though it's not his writing.
Exactly.
Obviously, he, everyone ad-libs a little bit and improvs.
Yeah.
But he, as you said, took that to heart.
Yeah. I think it's hard to be the one that everyone's like, you're the funny one,
Yeah, and Lisa sat back and was like, you've never told me that.
Yeah.
Or you never told us that. I just wanted to give him a massive hug.
I wanted to give all of them a massive hug.
Like, yeah, of course. When they huddled, I wanted to be in the huddle.
Just wanted to squeeze into it. Hey.
Yeah, they'd be like, what is she doing here? But, like, Chandler's always been my favourite character. So I always have that kind of pull with him.
He's cute.
Yeah.
They're all cute.
Man.
I love them all.
I'm tearing up all over again. Just like thinking about it.
So the next bit is we have the credits and then we have to see Matt Corden for a bit. No, James Corden.
Corden.
I wrote Meh Corden in my notes.
Look, to the American listeners or our global listeners, I personally don't hate
I don't
James
hate
Corden.
him. He's just
I don't really have a gripe with. I just don't really care. But for some reason,
he's everywhere, and I think that's
either
the annoying
America
part.
loves him, or the American networks love him. But I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. And the thing is, I mean, for anyone who's not in the UK, it's not like everyone in the UK hates him. I mean, there's people that like Gavin and Stacey and all that. But
yeah, but he's good in Gavin and Stacey.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
The UK just don't care about his presenting.
We don't like people getting successful, and maybe that was it.
No, but like, oh my God, so many people on Reddit originally as well was like, we got rid of him, and America were like, yeah, we'll take it. Why? Like, seriously, I mean, you can have him.
I do wonder how, like, what he had to do that. I mean, he hasn't had that great a career, so anyway, enough bitching about, just, James Corden wasn't even that bad in this episode. He wasn't in it enough to annoy me.
Our worry was that he was going to overshadow.
Yeah.
Because he's got a big personality. Yeah, so all 6 of them in the room, I gotta say, absolutely love Matt. When he goes, has it always been purple?
I love that too. Because
I love that he came in and said
I know,
that line.
because I'm not sure everyone in that room even remembered that he'd said that, but I immediately was like, I see what you did there.
Yeah. I remember from his interviews on Graham Norton as well, where he would quote some stuff and reminisce about some stuff. And sing the Hand Twin song, and he still remembered it line for line.
And he recognised his hand twin.
I mean, I recognised it
Well, yeah,
from
I mean,
a
it
mile
was the
off.
only one with flamboyance in the display of the hands.
And the tone, the skin tone was perfect. Really was his hand twin.
I thought when I was watching it that Matt LeBlanc was like the one I could be friends with now. Do you know what I mean? Not like I couldn't be friends with the others, but the way he was behaving and the fact that he almost seemed like a fan, like we were fans, made me just go, yep, I want to hang out with this guy. Can we all go to Friends Fest together, please?
Yes. Oh my God, how much fun would we have with Matt LeBlanc? On the Barker lounges with him?
When they
recreated it.
Oh my God, and I love the fact...
It was when... Who was it that saw him? Was it Jen? No, it wasn't Jen.
I think Lisa, maybe.
Was it Lisa?
Or someone of them.
The guys are sitting on the Barker lounges. They're like, no, they're not.
I love the fact that they actually just went back to their apartment and were hanging out on their own. I thought that was so cute.
Did it kind of bother you that they weren't sat on the right one?
No, it wasn't that weird.
It's very slightly bothered me when they weren't sat in the right one because Chandler was sat in Rosita.
Well, they couldn't get it completely right.
Well,
I mean,
it's because I wasn't there.
If you were there, you would have been like, "Excuse me, no, you have to be the other way around. It's making me uncomfortable."
I would have been the one like doing all the marks for Matt to stand on and not run past and trip over. No, you stand here.
And we had some great appearances that just came out of nowhere. We mentioned the hand twin, but I mean, you know what? I think
because we didn't know how they were going to appear.
And I don't know about you, but when Mr. Heckles arrived, I went, "He's alive."
He looks exactly the same.
But like, I know the character dies, but I really thought that the actor died too. So I was like, "What? He's back."
I remembered him in Breaking Bad, and I got way too excited in Breaking Bad.
But still, I was sure that he had somehow died at some point.
No!
I apologise.
God forbid.
I've got his real name, but yeah. No, it was great that he turned up. And then he said, you still owe me a cat and a waffle.
Yes! Oh my God. And he was wearing the same robe.
He looked just as grumpy. He didn't even break out of character at all.
Credit to the man. I have to say, I was so annoyed that they couldn't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
I was screaming. Like how Meryl said that me and her become Ross and Monica. Imagine if we were there. I would probably start having an argument with the actual Friends cast. I would be so competitive against
well, you
the
know what we'd
actual
be
cast.
like? We'd be like, for example, if we're next to Courtney and David and they don't get something right, we'd be like, I expected more from you. You're letting the side down.
Oh, Courtney would so want us on her team. I know it. I don't know her, but I know it.
They recreate sort of the quiz. You know, the famous quiz. And actually, it did make me laugh that in the moment where they ask about Chandler's job and Jennifer says, oh, but it was a transponder.
Yeah.
Courtney still got annoyed with her for getting the answer wrong.
She's like, that's how we lost the apartment.
They fell right back in.
But even to the moment where Jen stood up from the couch, she does it in the actual episode.
She does.
And I was like, did she mean to do that?
Maybe, or she kind of
not
knew that something like that was meant to happen at some point. But yeah,
it worked.
I loved that. I really loved that. I was so happy they were even recreating it. And David was doing the hosting perfectly.
Oh. I'm just glad there wasn't a lightning round.
I know. There was a bonus question.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, and that was stupid. I was like, when I watched it, I went, Havva is going to get so angry with this. Did you?
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't actually say it. It's statistical analysis, data reconfiguration. I've been to like 3, 4, 5. I don't even know how many bloody Friends quizzes we've done now. We've done it not only streams over the COVID life, we've done it pre-COVID. But every time that question comes up and Meryl's like, here's the paper, you write it down.
Exactly.
Because I friggin' know it. I pay attention to Chandler.
Do you think we would have won if we'd written Nobody Knows? I mean, come on, guys.
That was disappointing.
Maybe they thought it was
so
funnier, but no, it's not. You have to be accurate.
It's not funny. Statistical analysis, data reconfiguration.
Well, you know, nobody
Remember
knows
it.
if you're taking the quiz because we want to win.
Yeah. Because it was that answer and A Woman Undone that made us win.
Yes. Well, thanks, Joe, because she remembered that
times.
one bit at the end. I got it slightly wrong. I said A Woman Unbound. And she went, wait, wasn't it undone? No, this is why we're friends.
I'll be there for you.
'Cause you're there for me too.
Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe at the end of this we'll sing it for you.
Yes! Oh my God! That should be our outro.
Well, we could sing it, but we probably won't be able to use it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we
We
can't.
can sing it.
No, we'd have to
I'll
change
sing it
the
in a different
tune.
key.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you.
'Cause you're for me. Sorry, we'll stop. Oh, didn't you find it cute that David had the letter still? The 18 pages in his hand? The prop, obviously. I'm sure he didn't take it home.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like, I doubt that was something that he kept.
That would have been ridiculous. He's like, I use it to put myself to sleep.
Oh my God, can you imagine? But like, Lisa took the actual cookie jar.
She did. Well, why wouldn't you?
Out of everyone, for Lisa to take it, I was actually a bit surprised. But I don't know, maybe she would have kept a guitar or a piece of her taxi. I don't know.
I really like the fact that Matt said he took the foosball. And he's like, now he just looks saying, what was the point of this? That's like me taking the Post-its from the cantina. Like, what?
Yes. I mean, I took the poster, but you took
I
Post-it
took
notes.
Post-its with nothing on. It's not like a memory. Oh, and did you remember the lyrics to the barbershop quartet bit? Because I was singing along, and I was so disappointed that they couldn't remember it.
Yeah. Your one and only
They
boyfriend.
kind of got it, but I was like, come on, it's nice to have a boyfriend. I was like immediately doing that bit, like, come on.
But I did originally go, na 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 na. And then I remembered it. I was like, oh my God, I know this. And then I was almost like telling Jen to shush so I could figure it out.
Really? Because I was starting from the beginning and I just completed it while they was trying to figure it out. I was like, I know this. You guys should just ask.
I'm telling, we would have won.
We would have won.
Oh, it was so, so lovely. And I love that they did the Lisa, Phoebe, isn't taking part in this, so it was nice to see her be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I love that they mentioned her laugh in the bloopers because, oh my God, I don't know how they got any of those lines.
How many times have we said to each other that whenever she laughed in the bloopers, it's so contagious?
Oh yeah, it made me laugh so much. It made the scene extra funny.
We now know the scenes Jen messes up in, and it's to do with Lisa making her laugh and Jen has to cover her face because that's the best shot that they could have gotten.
Yeah, exactly.
And how perfect was it that after bringing that up, you just hear Janice.
Yeah.
On the back of that laugh. I mean, it's not the best laugh, it's the most annoying laugh.
It's definitely the most annoying.
And annoyingly, I can do it well.
You do it amazingly. But I didn't know. I don't know if you knew, but I didn't know that she did the laugh to cover up her own laughing.
Yeah, because she also knew Matthew was really funny.
Yeah,
and
she was like, I'm not going to be able to act opposite him without laughing. So she just invented that nasal laugh to cover up her actual laugh. And they went, oh my God, this is perfect. Who knew? I bet at that moment she never thought that that was going to be her trademark.
Yes. Oh my God. And I mean, you were probably doing exactly the same, but then they show a snippet of the clip. And I was just saying it word for word, line for line.
Oh, of course.
You seek me out like a foghorn.
Janice.
Janice.
I really liked the table read moments from this episode.
Yeah, you know what? I would say they were my favourite. And then alongside it was them sitting in their apartments and reminiscing. It just felt, I don't know, I can't even describe the feeling, but it was just so special to see them do the table reads.
Yeah, I think because obviously it's been a long time, so some of them are not going to remember exactly that scene anyway. Plus, they're getting to watch each other and laugh, at their delivery again. I was cracking up. I loved that Lisa Kudrow pretty much nailed the John Monica.
To see David laugh at that moment because he's like, oh my God, she's doing it.
Oh, and him doing the squeal again.
Oh, how did he do it so well?
I was crying.
You know what would have made it even better if somehow the dinosaur sound was put in there? I don't know where, but him just going, The Vintage Valkyrie is an amazing little shop that can be found on Etsy. The super lovely owner makes handcrafted jewellery and cards inspired by films, TV, books and games, and she's appeared at a major Comic-Con here in London. She's just made a Captain America shield greeting card, which looks amazing, and she's uploaded it to her shop, so go check it out. She's even made a Captain America bracelet. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
She makes other pieces too, inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, Back to the Future, including the Flux Capacitor earrings, which we both own.
Yes.
Final Fantasy, Harry Potter, and much more. You can find them all there for your geeky needs, or your friend's geeky needs, or your girlfriend's geeky needs, whoever needs them. Treat yourself.
What's great is that she's also open to custom pieces, so we highly recommend her shop. She's talented and puts her heart and soul into each and every piece, so defo check out her shop, The Vintage Valkyrie, on Etsy, and make sure you shop small.
It's important to help these businesses out, especially in times like these. And as a little gift from us and The Vintage Valkyrie, you can receive a 10% discount on the shop now if you use the promo code GeeklyRecap in capitals.
Woo!
I thought they covered so much and really well, though.
They did.
I wouldn't even necessarily put the jellyfish bit in. Like, that wouldn't be the first thing that would pop in my head, but it was hilarious. I'd forgotten how funny that bit is.
I love that episode.
Oh, me too. But, in comparison to when you try and compare it to other episodes that you've loved, it's probably not one that I immediately go to in my head.
No, but I love it because I love the bit where Chandler goes...
No, I do love that, but I don't know, something about Joey, like, that's right, I stepped up. If I had to, I'd pee on anyone.
How many times have we said that to each other when we're at the beach?
I would pee on you, Havva.
I would pee on you too.
Thanks.
I mean, I probably can't aim that way, but...
What do you mean? You'd be able to aim on me. I probably would be able to...
Oh, God! How did we get
I was
here?
going to say, I could probably still pee on myself and I'd still get you to do it. Just to prove if you really do love me.
And listeners, I would pee on any one of you.
Well, not for sexual reasons. Oh my God.
But you know what? I really loved, and I mean, we knew from the trailer, so we knew that they were going to do table reads, but I wasn't expecting them to do the Ross and Rachel first kiss, and that was so emotional. I don't know how you felt.
No, for sure.
I felt the love and admiration. There's definitely something there, like the fact that they actually admitted to it, and they left the clips in of them like cuddled together on the couch.
And she was like, "How did no one know?" And it was like, "We knew." It was like, "Yeah, we knew."
What was the thing that they did before? I've totally forgotten. Was it for one of the NBC network guys?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it was in honor of somebody. Yeah, someone who had passed away, I think it was. They did like a tribute show because he'd worked on a lot of comedies.
So on that show, there was a heavy implication that something had happened between them.
Between someone. It wasn't
Between
clear.
someone. There was a question about whether anyone hooked up.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like there was something there that and there wasn't. This was probably it.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to reveal it then.
Because I do think that
the whole...
if they had actually, I mean, obviously we don't know the ins and outs really, but I feel like they said, if they had ever actually acted on anything, it probably would have screwed up the dynamics. And look how close they are.
But that's like assuming they would have broken up. Because it does happen.
Yeah.
A little part of me is sad that they're not together because I was like, oh my God, he's a lobster.
I know. I was like, I'm rooting for them. At some point, they're going to get together. But I thought it was very clever editing that obviously they opened up about all that stuff first. And then they showed us that table read of them doing that scene. Because just watching them looking at each other, I was like, just kiss for real. I probably would have shouted, kiss him, you fool.
I would have done. Oh my God. But like out of all the guests that were mentioned, Meryl and I were both like, because we didn't know how they were going to go. So we were a bit like, why? I'm assuming they're going to, we just assumed, or I assumed that they were going to interview them. And fair enough. But I said to Meryl, what they really should have done is just interviewed normal people. Not that they're not normal, but you know what I mean. Just regular people. They should have interviewed regular people. We didn't know this at the time. But we just felt that's what they should have done. And so they can explain what Friends means to them. I'm a little gutted that I somehow didn't know about this.
But they didn't have anyone from the UK, so it makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly. If someone was there from the UK, oh my God. What they did with it was very smart. The only one I didn't hate them, but the only one I really, really did enjoy was Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And it was because it just almost felt perfect with Lisa Kudrow. And Lisa Kudrow looked like she was a bit in awe. The fact that she was singing Smelly Cat with Lady Gaga.
She's definitely a fan.
But the whole time I was like, no, it's too much.
I know, and I was like, there's no top from Smelly Cat. That's the beauty. It was a bit like having Chrissy Hind come in and try and make it sound better. No.
it was just perfect where Lisa just goes, yeah, but it sounds better on my own.
But I love that they had those I'm gonna call them choir people come in because it was the cover version of Smelly Cat that is a tune.
Smelly,
it's a tune.
Smelly.
It's not your fault. Anyway, it was so good. I did really enjoy that scene. I mean, like you said, we had a smile on our faces, but I don't think there was a single moment where my smile dropped while I watched this, except maybe if anything made me sad. But even then, I was probably smiling.
Yeah. I have to say, though, I don't know how you felt. Obviously, they had to sing Smelly Cat. But right after they finished it, one of my favourites, I then thought, I'm going to say it. But before I say it, I was thinking, God, how would this have sounded if it was Lady Gaga singing it? And it was little black curly hair.
I didn't say that one! her to sing all of Phoebe's songs just to hear.
Little black, little black, little black.
It would probably sound amazing. Can you imagine with her vocals?
Oh my God. She put so much passion in how it ended up there.
Exactly. I'd really want to know, where did it come from? I don't even know what my favourite of hers is, but that one does randomly come into my head.
I know, but that's the one I always think of. It's weird.
It's just so random.
Maybe because it's just so wrong. Out of all her songs, it's so wrong.
Random. It's just like, why did she even think? I love her so much. Phoebe's the best.
I know. And Gaga thanks her as well,
for being like an advocate for different people. Yeah,
the outsiders.
I thought that was lovely.
I love the fact that Lisa went, "Thank you for carrying it on."
Yeah, well, no, it's true though.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was lovely. I definitely cried a bit there again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
God. I didn't mind the fashion show bit. I did enjoy it. I loved seeing to be honest, I love seeing Ross's pants. Cindy Crawford
made them work, man. I almost wish she turned up with like them down by her legs with the paste.
Yes, the paste. The moment was it Matt that mentioned the pants? The bit where they speak to David about the pants and how he was very calculated with his comedy, with the slap in the face.
Yeah, like everything was coordinated. I think that's amazing because, obviously it could have just happened. But I love the fact that David Schwimmer really thought of what he could do to make the scene funny. Like it was all coordinated in his head. That's amazing.
That, again, one of my favourite moments in the show.
I mean, you know how I feel about Ross. So.
I know. So my favourite has always been Chandler and Meryl's favourite has always been Ross. And I know it can get a little bit controversial. I've no idea why, because I love all of them.
Yes, me too.
That Ross moment, I'm not going to say what my other favourite Ross moments are. You'll find out next week.
They're probably everyone's favourite Ross moments, to be fair.
Probably.
But we'll see. He's a great reactor.
It's the tone of his voice.
Yeah. It's his facial reactions too. Like, I mean, his voice makes me laugh, but his face... Yeah. That scene in the one with Unagi where he thinks he's attacking Rachel and Phoebe outside, only to realise that they're in Central Park. That little moment where his face has the realisation that he's not being chased by them.
Yeah.
It's amazing. How does he do it? It's hilarious.
I don't know how they didn't laugh much more than they did.
They must have laughed for ages before they ever got those takes.
Yeah. But towards the end of it, they did ask, or James did ask them, like, where would you see your characters now? I like the fact that Lisa did respond, saying no, she wouldn't want to do it because you would have to unravel their stories.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, for anyone that somehow has forgotten, that was her saying they wouldn't want to come back. It's not about where she is now. She answered that afterwards. But yeah, she said that she wouldn't want to come back. And yeah, you're right. Her answer was very, it was sensible.
I might be wrong, but I think if Marta Kaufman and David Crane, wrote a great script just for a one-off special, not necessarily at feature length, but, if they wrote a really good one where it didn't ruin their happy lives, they probably would be up for it. But there's that risk for everyone going there.
I think it would be one of those things that if it ever got written, they would only ever do it if they made a perfect script that everyone was happy with.
And they would all have to have a say in it.
Yeah.
They would all have to executive produce it.
Exactly.
Respectively.
Yeah. I'd love to see one, but I'm fine with not seeing it as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with having this in 15 years.
Exactly.
Courtney.
In your retirement home, guys.
Yeah. So then James obviously asked them, saying, well, where would you see your characters? And they gave their answers. And the whole time, when we got to Joey, and he mentioned about having a sandwich shop.
Which was a good answer.
No, but he was spoon-fed.
I know. We said
all you had to do was say you were living over Monica and Chandler's garage. That's all you had to say. With a sex swing.
Of course, because that would have to be there.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned how Matthew Perry was quiet. And he didn't really answer this question either. He let Courtney answer it, which was, it was good because there was a nice little perfect little joke there, but I kind of do wish that he'd said something.
I would have wanted to know what he would have said.
Courtney goes on about what she does, and then she says, "Of course," and I'm still in love with with Chandler, and he's like, "I'm glad I factor into it somehow."
That was such a Chandler
but
line.
It was also such a Monica thing to do, because if you remember when they got engaged and she kept saying "my night," and then she kept having to change it to our night. Damn it!
To Monica.
She's like, "Oh, come on, guys. Yeah, to Monica."
Don't you remember where part of me wanted Chandler to reply back saying that they'd have a cat, because remember when he describes like how he envisions their life, and she goes, "I remember when you said a cat, you meant a dog, right?" I really wish she said they had a cat with a little bell on it.
Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't really say a lot.
But Jen was crying all over the place.
Oh yeah, but I would have been
Lisa
the same.
was crying a lot. Oh, well,
and Courtney was crying. All the girls were crying.
Well, yeah, all the girls were crying. But it did get to Matt at the end.
Yeah, but
Matthew,
even them showing that scene, the final scene where they walk off into the corridor, and that bit was kind of closed off, so the audience didn't necessarily see it. And they had
where they huddled at the end.
Yeah, they all kind of hugged each other and really cried. I mean, I was crying. It was like it just happened again.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do this to me again.
Yeah. I hate watching the final episode because even though I can watch it whenever I want, I know it's come to an end and it gets me every single time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great episode. I love the final two. That final scene, I mean, not only is it sad anyway, but I always feel sadder when I can see real pain in the actor's eyes. You know that Rachel or Jennifer is just barely holding that moment together. I mean, there's moments in that where you can see her face turned away so that people can't see she's already crying. I mean, that breaks my heart. Even though it's not like anything bad happens, they just ended it. They've got careers, but it's so sad.
I cried when I left my job. These guys ate together every single day. They said for the first year or the first 2 years, they had all 3 meals together.
Yeah.
They lived each other, breathed each other for 10 years. That's not to say you're not family, but you're no longer living in one house. It's like having kids and moving out. They all moved out.
Everyone knows how hard it is to say goodbye, which is why it makes it emotional. But also for us as viewers, because we grew up with them. It has been there for us. God, I hate saying like the credits.
It's been there for us.
I haven't been there for it too.
And
I've given them some money. But yeah, I mean, at that moment, you do feel like you've lost friends too.
It did.
Yeah.
And someone said this. One of the regular viewers, one of the fans, it was said, like, it was like being their friend and these were my friends.
Yeah.
And you also feel everything with them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you've watched it for as long as you have.
Exactly. Oh, did you love how David Schwimmer was still really angry about Marcel?
Oh my God! I didn't realize just how angry he was over Marcel.
It was still annoying him now.
I know. They looked at him and they were like, "Whoa!" He was like, "Yeah, but that's because you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to have him on your shoulder."
I don't blame him, but and
he's like, "Oh, he's eating all these bugs and touching." I would be the same.
Exactly.
Lisa with the bug. Is that not me?
Oh, yeah,
I didn't realise. She was like, "I don't like bugs." And she was like, "Ah!" That is me. Dust could be flying by my face and I will scream because I think it's a bug. I'm terrified of bugs. I want to go swimming with great white sharks, but I'm terrified of bugs.
But if there's a butterfly, watch out.
Oh my God, do not even do not get me started on butterflies.
Harper would swim towards the shark to get away from the butterfly.
It's their flappy wings.
You're so weird.
Oh yeah, and now totally random, but the moment where Matthew Perry didn't even remember that the foosball table got smashed.
Oh right, yeah. I think there's a lot they forget. I mean, you have to remember I forget stuff, and that's only from like a year ago. So imagine this was 17 years ago, if not longer. And they're older than me.
Yeah. Oh my God, we haven't mentioned Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah.
What a moment.
I like the fact that they said his name and then they went, no, that's the wrong answer. And I was like, you have to say Richard Burke, guys. Richard Burke.
Richard Burke. Richard.
Richard! Sorry.
Oh, and to see Elliot Gould.
Oh, they were really cute. I kind of almost wanted them to be in character though, but it was fine.
He's a medical marvel. Yeah, I love them. And I love the fact that they refer to them as the parents.
Yeah, Jack and Judy. Or whatever the real names.
Jack and Judy. Yeah. Oh, Christina Pickles, right? And Elliot Gould. Christine or Christina?
I don't know.
What if this was in a quiz, Meryl? We gotta know.
No,
Is it Christina or Christina?
Oh, didn't you? I found that interesting too. I don't know if you knew about it because I can't remember if I'd heard it before. But how their response to doing an actual relationship with Chandler and Monica stemmed from the reaction the audience gave when they were in London.
No idea.
I didn't know that either. I thought that
Can I just say, well done to the British public.
I know, thank you guys. You finally did something right.
I know. You voted for Brexit, but you gave us this goal.
Although that was from before, so that's when
true.
England was still smart.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was really great. I'm so glad that that's the way they chose to go with it.
Because they still didn't actually know how far they wanted to take it, but the reaction kept taking off.
I remember when that happened, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I didn't hate it, but I was like, okay, where are they going to go with this? Because they had that was around the time they just had that whole Ross Rachel thing kind of come to a head with her going to the wedding to try and stop it, blah, blah. And then to bring this, I was like, Emily, do I have time for, like, I'm so glad she wasn't in this episode, this reunion. I would have still been like, oh, piss off.
She was in London.
In London. But yeah, no, I did learn to love it. And by the time they got to where everybody finds out, I mean, I loved it so much. That is one of my favorite episodes.
I remember first seeing it and I was basically Joey going, that was me. But I never hated it at all.
No. What did you think of the little interview snippets with people?
I'm glad they kept it brief.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to be about them.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very, very well done. So big thanks to HBO.
Yeah.
Big thanks to the, cast and crew and to the writers. You got a brief snippet of what it meant for them, their happiest moments. Obviously, David Beckham, like saying when he's feeling lonely, he'll put on that episode. And it's a great episode. God, we love that episode. How many times do we say, I got the hummus? So, to get that brief little moment, it was nice.
Yeah.
But it didn't take anything away from the cast.
Yeah, definitely. No, I like those bits too. It was nice because they obviously brought up a moment or an episode that they really liked. And it was kind of nice to see, because, I mean, I'm assuming these people got approached, because they're known to be fans. They're not just like random people. Obviously, Reese has been in it, but she pretty much fangirled the moment she apparently got the call to be able to be in it. And she was really excited to have Joey say, how you doing to her.
How you doing? I'm surprised she didn't go,
I'm sure she did. They talk about guest stars and how Ben Stiller was really funny.
Oh, that moment where all of them are there.
And they couldn't
and
stop
they're like,
laughing.
I don't know what it was about him. And someone goes, it's Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
That's literally it. He didn't do to you, my dad. Oh, I love that moment.
He's calling him a chickadee or whatever. They found it really funny. But yeah, they didn't really go too deep with a lot of the guests, but they mentioned like Danny DeVito and Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt and Sean Penn, who's Schwimmer. That made me laugh. He was like someone he really respects, and he's like, and now I'm dressed like a potato.
Also, the moment where he mentions Brad Pitt,
yeah.
I don't know whether it hit you, but I know Schwimmer lives here, has a house here, or spends a lot of time here.
Okay.
He said to Jen, "Your fella." Fella isn't an American term. I was like, God, he's
They
British.
say fella.
He did.
No, but they say fella.
Oh, they don't
They
say
say fella.
If you're American, tell me if you go, your fella.
They say fella.
It's not, no, it's an English term.
No,
I mean,
it's
I'm not saying
not.
they don't say it, but that's not an American term.
It is. I'm not saying
He
it's
said to
strictly
Jen,
an American term.
Your fella was in it.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily an English thing either. I've heard Americans say your fella.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have another hashtag Team Meral and Team Havva moment here. It wouldn't be fella, it would be like feller. No one says that.
No, in America, they've never said feller. They say fella.
Never said it.
They say fella. Please, someone American, if you're listening, just bloody, I don't even care if you don't write anything else in the tweet or wherever you're going to comment. Just tell us if it's a thing. And it's fella like F-E-L-L-A.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've pretty much gotten to the end.
Just literally staring at her.
We can't even continue this right now. We're outraged.
I am outraged. Oh my God. I can't even believe that just happened. 17 years and I finally had my friends back together on the screen again. It was like I was in the room with them, reminiscing and reading their scripts, front and back. I'm still very emotional and my heart is full. These 6 characters have been my life for pretty much my whole life.
But Havva, could we be any more excited for our next episode? I think that's a yes. You didn't think we'd just do a reaction, did you?
Way.
No way. See what we did? In our next episode, we will look at what Friends means to us, how it has shaped us, changed our lives. From our favourite episodes, scenes, lines and cameos, we will cover it all. Well, maybe not all, but we will cover as much as we can fit in.
This is probably going to be my favourite episode from us, just because of what it actually means to us. Okay, I promise I'm not going to cry again.
So tune in for another spectacular Friends episode and tell us your favourite moments or memories. You may even be mentioned. Find us on all our socials as usual at Geekly Recap Pod.
And if you have themed photos, tag us in them on Instagram.
Or contact us on our website geeklyrecap.weebly.com, where you can also sign up to our weekly newsletter for exclusive bonus content.
We hope you loved the reunion special just as much as we did. So for now, see ya, pals.